Tim, if you wanted to include a few more fruits in your diet, then I have a really tasty cupcake recipe for you.
Oh, okay.
These are a hummingbird cupcake, so they include some banana, some pineapple. You have the sweetness of the coconut as well. Let's get cracking
Okay,
then.
what
If
can I
you can
do?
start on mashing the bananas, that
Oh, yeah.
would be a super help.
I can do.
Then I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil, but you could also use a melted butter or a melted coconut oil as well to the mash experience. Now, I've warned you once, I'm a very basic baker, so I kind of just like to get as much in as possible.
I think baking shouldn't be too complicated. We want to keep things simple and achievable for those at home cooking in the kitchen.
That's right, and especially when you're trying to make some healthy swaps and include a few more whole food ingredients, lower the sugars, increase the fibre with your fruits. There's some very simple ways to do it, but you just want to make sure there's lots of good flavour in there as well. All right, so we'll get our banana mashing with our oil. I'm going to sneak in and crack an egg in.
Go for it.
Now, our sweetener that we'll use in this recipe is a honey. And I love honey paired with banana and also pineapple. I don't know if you've ever had some pineapple left over, but I love popping it under the grill with a little bit of honey over the top as well. That's a really nice way to use up your pineapple.
So I'm not seeing any sugar, so the honey's going to give us that sweetness that we need.
The honey is our sugar.
Beautiful.
Honey still is a sugar, but it's a natural sugar.
Yeah.
All right.
How am I going? How's that looking?
It's looking pretty good. I'm just going to get you to keep on mixing.
Okay.
Yeah, put you to work.
My workout for the day. Let's do this.
It. So we've got all of our wet ingredients happening, and we're going to add in some coconut milk as well to really make these muffins lovely and moist, fluffy and coconutty as well.
Fantastic.
And there's some cool things that you can do with it. Again, if you have leftovers, if you haven't used the whole tin of the coconut milk, for instance, I like mixing it up and going with, again, that summery vibe and making something like a chia pudding with some spices in there, coconut milk, some honey. And again, you could top it with the banana and the pineapple or go summer fruit favourites with things like mango and some fresh berries or something in there. So there's a really wholesome breakfast idea if you've got a little bit of coconut milk left as well. All right, we're going to get our spices in next.
All right.
So you can kind of pump up the spices or reduce them depending on who you're serving these to.
Okay.
We've got a pretty game team around us today. So I've got a good hit of cinnamon in there.
Beautiful.
And then about 1/4 teaspoon or half teaspoon of nutmeg.
Yum.
And then cardamom, and I love the cardamom flavour coming through with the coconut and the banana and the pineapple. So
I think cardamom is such an underused spice. It's amazing. Cardamom ice cream.
Oh,
Yum.
delicious. So if you can mix those together for me,
Got
we'll
ya.
add in some shredded coconut as well so that we get those lovely actual pieces of coconut in the cupcake. And then our pecans so that there's some crunch.
Oh, I love pecan nuts.
And I do love that shift in the textures when it comes to baked things as well. So you notice I like my chunky chopped chip cookies.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of walnut through a risotto. I love chunks of pecans in these cupcakes.
Wow.
And then the pineapple. So a few more summer fruits. Pineapple are actually obviously very sweet, but they're a lovely source of vitamin C. So if you're looking to bump up your vitamin C, support your immune health, make sure you've got some pineapple on hand.
That's what we're all about.
That's it.
Keeping healthy.
Okay, we're almost done here. We might flick over to a wooden spoon just to finish off things with the flour.
Lovely. Thank you.
Tim, it's time for the flour. So we want our flour to rise, obviously. So we've got light, fluffy cakes because obviously there's a lot of moisture in the mix already. So we need some baking powder and then just a nice wholemeal, high fibre flour to finish.
Strong, high in protein.
High in protein, lots of fibre, B vitamins, all the good energy that you need in
All right,
in
here
your
I
diet
go.
too. So I'll let you mix those ones up and then we'll get them into the oven.
Easy as that, Jacq.
Pretty simple. As I said, I keep my baking very simple so that people don't feel like they are overwhelmed by the process, that they know that they can whip these things together in no time at all. And then you kind of just want to fill them about 3/4 full.
Thank you, because I always get confused about how far to fill my cupcake tins, and I always put too much in and they end up just going everywhere and splurting out. So you're probably better to underfill them a little bit more than you think.
That's right. And then that gives you the opportunity to put a topping on, whether it's a frosting or you might drizzle it with some extra honey and sprinkle some extra nuts and coconut on there. But you can always jazz it up, but you can't pull it back, unfortunately.
Can't take it out once it's cooked and just exploded everywhere.
Yeah. So now these need to go into the oven. They'll bake for about 20 minutes.
Fantastic.
Tim, the cupcakes have cooled, so it's time to get our frosting together.
They look gorgeous.
They're fun, aren't they? And they look really wholesome too, because we've got that wholemeal flour in there. Now, to make the frosting, we're going to do something a little bit different.
Okay.
And make a coconut cream frosting. Instead of like a traditional butter frosting, we're going to use the coconut cream. So if we want to grab the coconut cream, and what I've done is actually popped it in the fridge overnight, and so that the fats separate. So that when you scoop it out,
You're a genius.
And get it in there, you've got really thick cream in there.
So we really just want that top layer.
That's right, that top layer in there.
Oh.
And then we'll get our honey to sweeten. And I do love coconut, as you may have picked up on this recipe, because especially with the coconut cream, coconut milk, we've got some all-natural coconut delicious flavours going in there. Whisk it together with some vanilla for life.
Absolutely.
And the final little element is a bit of lime zest in there as well. So I'll get you whisking, I'll get the lime zest on top, and then we'll ice our cupcakes.
I love that little addition of any zest to desserts. It just gives it such a boost of flavour.
The zing, and doesn't it work well with these summer fruits too? Like squeezing your lime juice over your papaya or having a little bit on the side with your mango in these cupcakes too. So I'm going to get about the zest of half a lime.
Beautiful. Great.
Then to actually frost them, I have a little hack that I like to do sometimes.
Oh, I love a good hack.
Which is to make it into a butterfly cake. So you cut like a little triangle from the top, remembering that we've got fruits in there, so it'll be a little bit more dense. There we go.
Ooh.
We'll just put it there for a second. And then what we do is fill the little hole with the icing. So it's like a little surprise
little coconut cream
burst of flavour as you get to the middle.
How fun.
Yep. And then we'll put our little piece on top like that.
Lovely.
Get a little bit of extra honey to make it fancy.
Why not?
And that little bit extra sweet. And then some lime zest to give it the colour and a bit of extra zing.
Bit of zing, bit of zest, like it.
And then if you have some on hand, a few extra pecans as well. I do love pecans, so just crumble a few of those onto the top for me. So there's a little crumb over there. And it takes it from a wholesome, simple cupcake or hummingbird cake into something that's a little bit more special, something that maybe you might serve up to mum on Mother's Day.
That looks like a bought one.
It's cool, isn't
I like
it?
that.
Nice little hack.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we're going to ice the rest.
Do a few more?
Yeah, and then we'll share them with our friends.
Let's do it. Now, Jacq, I told you I've been craving hummingbird cake, so I need a taste.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to cut this one down the middle. I don't know about sharing my hummingbird cakes, but I'll make an exception for you.
All right.
There we go. As you open it up, it's got all the delicious coconut cream icing coming through the middle.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice and moist. Consider my hummingbird craving satisfied.
That's great.
That is absolutely gorgeous. And that all-natural coconut cream frosting, that's a game changer.
It's a bit of fun, and it just gives you a bit of variety in the way you think about your baking, how you can frost, how you can incorporate the coconut cream that's sitting in the cupboard.
That's right.
You want to make use of.
What a tropical, summery dessert. What a way to celebrate summer fruits.
Yeah.